Hello everyone, Dekzeh here. I'm back with another narration for the CALLOUS Invitationals for all of you to enjoy. Today we got SoulWind facing Blues. This is the lower brackets. So round 2 lower brackets. Blues very unlucky, losing 2 men on round 1 and then going into the lower bracket and having to face SoulWind. Kinda rough, but it is what it is. Tournament stacked, all of that. And SoulWind, I think, lost... Who did SoulWind lose to on round 1? Let me check this. Yeah, it was like a bit of an upset. SoulWind lost to Leech, PK Leech. But yeah, let's just jump right into this. Whoever loses is out. They're just fighting to remain in the tournament. We see Zapdos into Skarmory. Do you just bolt the bird? Always bolt the bird, right? And Blues just stays in for 1 layer. Defensive Zapdos, max special defense Skarmory, the usual. Blues with classic Skarmory could just be a big 6 kind of deal, just like his ladder stuff, who knows. And SoulWind also has a Blister of his own, so we might be in for a long game to start the series here. As we see a Zapdos, probably defensive Zapdos, we see Roar, so probably Rest, either Toxic Rest, could be Slip Talk, and Claydol as a spinner. Okay. So the fact that SoulWind just goes Claydol on Zapdos does show that he doesn't care about Toxic, which means either Refresh or Rest, and Jirachi could be a good mon to break through everything. Calm Mind, bulky Jirachi with Wish just kinda slowly eats away at bulkier things like this. We know that Zapdos has Roar, but look at that damage, you can't keep doing that forever. Drops, crits, it will eventually have to sleep. See, it does sleep here. Jirachi might push in for the damage. And oh, we do see it is Sleep Talk Zapdos, and that Thunderbolt does quite a bit. The Jirachi is kinda safe to Wish here though. Never mind, the Jirachi was not safe to Wish there. Yeah, that kinda sucks, because Jirachi was probably one of the best ways SoulWind's team had to break through and like push damage through what appears to be a very bulky squad from Blues. So, unfortunate moment there, kinda unlucky, but you know, it is what it is. You get the Slip Talk into a crit sometimes, no big deal. Claydol come down to Rapid Spin, and we do see a Suicune, which can kinda do the same thing as Jirachi. It is a little bit slower and a bit worse, and specifically matches up way worse against the Roar Zapdos, and against Skarmory as well, depending on the coverage that Jirachi had. And this Doug trio could be useful, but right now it looks like Blues is just on the driver's seat. He has only revealed 3 Mon, but I mean, breaking through Skarmory Zapdos is just not easy. There's like not many Pokemon that do it. And of course Blues will have the other 3 team slots to cover for, you know, choice band rock moves and whatnot. So you can safely assume Blues at this point has what in the back, like a Swampert, maybe a Starmie, maybe a Spinner, could be a Magneton, and then probably I would like for him to have some sort of offensive pressure, but could just not be a thing. Could be a Gengar, could be a Starmie, could be an Aerodactyl, could be a lot. We do see that SoulWind here is just pushing through with Suicune on Zapdos, which is just not a great matchup. The Zapdos can Roar here. SoulWind does burn the Eternal Sleep there. There is no word where you can stall the Zapdos out of Roar, right? Yeah, it's way too much. And you take so much damage, layers will go down. Although Claydol probably can spin safely against both Skarmory and Zapdos. I guess SoulWind could just also play the super long game here, right? But just trying to figure out how can he win this, because it looks like Blues is gonna win this. It's just gonna take a very, very long time. I'll wait to see like what he has in the back, but right now it's like it will just come down to one of turns like this where SoulWind has to stay into Ice Beam and gets crit or gets frozen. Something like that, and Blue-Wings will just like slowly increase the advantage, slowly push in for moments like that, where he can like fish for you know, the lucky moments to come. I mean, they already did once, the Jirachi is dead as a proof, but it could just happen again. And I guess SoulWind should just try to make the best out of pressure as he can of Zapdos and Suicune. and try to make sure that the layers don't stay up. The Clado did show rest, and we do see the Swampert being revealed by blues. Probably a defensive one, so it's not a big deal to handle. We do see the Clado just staying in to rapid spin, as he should. You don't want to ever play with layers down. And I don't know, maybe you can like go all the way depending on how passive blues team is, and like PP stole the Skarmory out of spikes, you know, stuff like that, and then just, I don't know. I mean, the Zapdos will never do damage as long as spikes aren't up. Let's have 2 ground types. Oh, we see a crit? Hold on, this is huge. Blue staying in on Zapdos versus Zapdos Mirror and Paralyzed, and didn't go for the rest, so he got parried into crit, and now he's low enough that he could die to the next one. SoulWind makes the switch, expecting the Blissey. I'm not sure what Blissey does. I guess Aromatherapy healed something that was sleeping, the Clado maybe. And Blue's Blissey Aromatherapy the Zapdos. But the Zapdos is low, so if SoulWind could find some room, some opportunity to Calm Mind up with Suicune, it could work. We don't know yet if the Suicune has Lip Talk, because he decided to burn the turn. And important turn here. SoulWind, maybe if he had Psychic or Shadow Ball or something like that, he could have tried to get the Zapdos on the switch. And I mean, maybe even Explosion, right? Maybe if he explodes on the Zapdos, then Suicune could just win. Who knows? But yeah, just Rapid Spin, so the Zapdos will rest. It will be back to full health, and Blues looks to be back in charge of the game here. Okay. I mean, we have seen how this match can turn, right? It's just a couple of turns, a couple of lucky breaks, and SoulWind just has to keep fishing for that and keep putting himself in positions where those moments can happen. But Blues, you know, also a player on the other side that know how to play around this stuff, doesn't have to push for much. I mean, he did there, he could have just died to a Thunderbolt crit, don't really think he had a reason to, but it worked out well, right? Didn't get the toxic pressure on the Blissey, and I mean, I don't know what that did, but it did something. But yeah, like, just in turns like that, I guess you just bolt the burden, hope the blue wins is greedy and stay in, and then you get like the lucky crits and whatnot. Curse part? We see that's Roar Suicune, so that makes it a little bit worse against Zapdos. Zerodactyl could be annoying if spikes ever stay up, but there's still the Clado and there's a Suicune, so not sure about that one. Alright, let's see. Can we get a crit here? Nope, crit wouldn't have done shit either way. Roars are being used, but that's not gonna come down to that, I don't think. Yeah, the Curse Swampert shouldn't be able to win, but it does do a lot to Suicune with +1 Quakes, although it eventually does get stalled out. So does Blues have like a fast way of winning this? I don't think so. I mean, I guess we don't know his last. I guess the Swampert angle is really good because you just keep doing this, right? Man, it's crazy how durable Suicune is without Sandstorm. It's just a whole different level of a Pokemon. It wouldn't have been able to like stay in for half the turns that it did had Sandstorm been up. Alright, so just like resting from the Blissey, making him waste some PP. Now I guess the Skarmory can roar here. We have realized that the Zapdos does not have Slip Talk, so that's like not a big deal. See Zapdos on Skarmory, now Clado onto Swampert, Rapid Spin on what I assume is an Ice Beam. Yep, Blue's trying to get a Freeze maybe, but that deals negative damage. And we have seen that SoulWind does have Aromatherapy on the Blissey, so even a Freeze wouldn't really have done it there. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a very slowly progressing match here. And someone at some point will have to do something or have something happen to break out of this. Zapdos wasting PP on the Swampert, which is relevant because we have to assume that this Swampert only has Ice Beam as a way to touch both Zapdos and Clado. And those are gonna run out super fast if it keeps Ice Beaming Zapdos. We see Aerodactyl coming in, finally trying to go in for damage, but yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. Had Sandstorm been up, that Suicune would have been dead to the next double edge there. So Sandstorm is just so massive for Pokemon like that. And I mean, I guess Blues can keep doing this, right? Keep getting our deck to win and keep trying to get like that one lucky crit or flinch or whatever it is. Or he can also play it slow and, you know, PP stall the whole squad. That also works. Let me speed this up. Whenever I see something happen, I'll slow down again. But lots of switches, lots of nothing happening. Because the thing is, Blue's team kind of requires spikes being up, which does mean to me that his less is never a ghost type. Otherwise, he would have been more aggressively pushing for that. And yeah, that looks like it's just 20 turns of both of them switching back and forth and nothing happening. Okay, something happened. Our deck to Rock Slide. And 2 turns, it's like if nothing happened, because the damage is completely negated by leftovers. Wow, this tier is so fucking good. Love to see it. I wonder what percentage of turns by each player was just switches. There's just no progress being made, which I think just favors Blues, right? Okay, we see the bolting the bird. I don't think there was a reason to stay in there, because I think I guess your Skarmory doesn't matter, since Rapid Spinning is so free. Okay, so Wind is pushing. Okay, hold on. Let's slow down. We'll go back a couple of turns here. So, this is what I mean. Why do you risk this? What's the point of staying Skarmory on the Zapdos? Ktahagravan and crit, parrot, full parrot. And like, this was the ideal turn for you almost, right? And, you know, nothing really happened. The Zapdos is toxic now, from whatever reason. And I guess he expected a switch and trying to rest the Skarmory there, but we see a Calm Mind switch by SoulWind. And now a Calm Mind on the Zapdos switch. And at this point, I feel like a crit Surf plus Poison might kill the Zapdos, at least like some of the time. Maybe it was a range too. And now Zapdos does get to rest again, so you know in the end it didn't matter. But yeah, it's just like small things like that, which do kind of show me that, I mean, maybe I'm biased, but SoulWind seems to just be the better player. Because there's no reason to make little things like that, little risks, as small as they are in a matchup like this. A match like this is all about getting the lucky breaks in those like very small margins, very small turns. And yeah, just, you know, don't let your Skarmory get thunderbolted multiple times through a game, because when you do that, eventually your Skarmory will get crit and fucking die, and then you have no way of winning a game. Who knows? We also know that the Skarmory doesn't have Protect, and oh, he has Thunder Wave, so it's double status. He hadn't revealed that yet, so that's another path for winning. But now we know that he cannot really touch the Swampert. But the Swampert loses the 1v1 regardless, so... Blue's now trying to go for the PP stall angle, I assume. Or trying to rest off the Zapdos as well. Yeah, get rid of the Para. But yeah, paralyzing the Zapdos into Suicune is definitely a possibility. Just fishing for that full para. Roaring there doesn't really do much. Maybe someone's trying to figure out what the last is. But at this point, we have to assume, like, okay, it cannot ever be a goal, so like no Gengar, no nothing like that. It could maybe be a spinner. Yeah, it could be a spinner. Probably it has to be like a spinner or a Magneton, right? Kind of rules out like stuff like Fortress, because that's also Spiker, and would have also spiked. I guess it could... Wait, what the hell? That is well played. Hold on, let me slow this down. That is well played by Blues, but you know, just what I was talking about. Those turns where small things, small lucky moments, you just go for the hidden power and you crit. Yeah, that's how you win games like this. It's just frustrating because I feel like SoulWind just put himself into positions to get those moments more than Blues did. And the RNG just favored Blues. But yeah, I'm not really like happy with how Blues played this match, even though he's gonna win it. Because feel like after Jirachi was down, he had a kind of unlosable position, maybe. And he put himself in the position to lose at some points for reasons that I don't think were worth it. And I mean, okay, it's a long game, they're over 170 turns, mistakes happen, people lose focus. Sometimes you just want to outplay your opponents, read their minds, whatever. Doesn't make it good. SoulWind trying to get the crit on the Blissey to maybe make something happen with like a last month Suicune, or who even knows. I mean, even at this point, last month Suicune could maybe do something. Very unlikely though, considering there's still a full health Zapdos. Curse Swampert, as we have seen. Interesting that it's not even trying to toxic anything, just spamming the Thunder Waves. And at some point he probably just try to go for it with the Suicune, right? It's probably gonna try to like let his stuff die and set up a last month Suicune. And hope that's good enough, hope that he never gets quit again. We do see that the last was a Magneton, which makes the Suicune plan even worse. But it's not leftovers Magneton, which means... Oh, is it like rest though? It's just Magnet, right? Yeah, you don't even rest loop Blissey here. Is it sleep talking too? It's not, so it's just gonna die? Okay. I guess you can do that. So it's a sleeping Magneton that has not burned Eternal Sleep, and it's worthless against the Suicune. So Blues, again, not really like caring about this last month Suicune probability, which is fine because you have other ways to play around that. Like, you can just avoid it. Claydol is down, so your spikes will be up, and you have 2 roars. So, you know, it's very unlikely that you get to set up that. So, in the end, it doesn't matter much. I'm not sure what the Magneton accomplished there. He just got himself to like 18% HP, is sleeping, never waking up, unless like aromatherapy. Okay, I mean, and it did nothing to the Blissey really, when it could have been a real valuable asset against a Suicune that somehow got out of hand. Which, like I said, I don't know how we could get out of hand, but why not play around unknown stuff, you know? We see that it's going for the freeze, but I'm pretty sure those ice beams are not 10, they should be like 4, which is like 2 against pressure, because I'm pretty sure this one produces all the ice beams against Zapdos and nothing else, so... It's not gonna win this 1v1. Well, maybe it doesn't need to. The Zapdos is also running low on PP probably because those numbers are not real, those numbers on my screen. Because they don't take into account pressure, and a lot of those moves were used at the opposing Zapdos. See Blissey being paralyzed, and I think at this point SoulWind is just trying to make his Zapdos die. Yeah, he's just trying to make his Blissey and Zapdos die so we can try to go for the win of Suicune. But that's not simple to do against Roar Zapdos. The Skarmory don't matter that much, but that also does have Roar. And Blues just doesn't have to kill anything, which is ridiculous when he's trying to win the game, but that's just the optimal way of going about this, is just not killing anything. We see that the Zapdos is paralyzed now, so maybe that's a window. We see that the Magneton is dead. I don't know why, it just is. I guess that forces an Aerodactyl kill? Okay, that makes sense, but you gotta switch out of the Zapdos there, right? And here you just spam Roar. Probably spam Rest. Okay. SoulWind doesn't go for it and we just see the Roar there. I think you just have to Calm Mind and go for this, right? The Zapdos is never gonna click Thunderbolt. The Zapdos has no reason to ever click Thunderbolt there when roaring is just better. And as I said that, it Thunderbolted. So, who knows? But yeah, I mean, the win condition here is the Suicune getting super lucky, and that's just not gonna happen here, although it might. So, here's the thing. You dodge the Rock Slide. Do you rest or you Calm Mind? Probably have to rest, because the Zapdos is paralyzed, right? So you wanna rest regardless here. Actually, I think you Calm Mind. If you're going for damage, you just Calm Mind, because that also covers the Zapdos switch. I think I mean, I'm just trying to like find what's the most likely move to win the match for SoulWind here, and I think it's Calm Mind. There's like very small margins, right? But I think you have to Calm Mind, right? Because the Pterodactyl can miss one of 2 Rock Slides, because it's locked into Rock Slide. And you need to Calm Mind for the Zapdos. So, yeah, I mean, it is just Calm Mind. Oh wait, spikes are up. I guess that doesn't change anything. Yeah, I think it was still Calm Mind in case of a Zapdos switch, which should never happen, but you need to get the Rock Slide miss there. Maybe you need 2 because of the spikes, but yeah. I mean, very long game, but kind of fun. This is just like the average ADV game. Lots of people enjoy games like this. Games like this is kind of what pushed me away from the format. It kind of just becomes too dull. Not because like it's always bad or anything. It's not even about that. It's just games like this just were happening too much. And whenever something happens too much, it becomes dull. But anyways, game number 2. So winning the bottom, he's losing, and we see Smeargle. So very, very hard switch from blues. Like Skarm Blaze, very passive team, which was Smeargle Spikes HO, which I have to assume is what it is. Tyranitar lead could be anything and everything, but yeah, it's just like Spore Spikes and 2 random moves on Smeargle. We see Sub, which is relevant, scout the Tyranitar move and scouts for like Lumberry. Doesn't really scout for Lumberry, because you're still gonna go for the Spore. But sometimes there's like Choice Band, Sleep Talk, shenanigans maybe. And Sub is really good for exactly that. Rock Slide misses. Wow, very lucky by blows. And you Spore, let's see how many turns of sleep does he get here. I assume this is Select Smeargle, and it's gonna get 2 layers up. Maybe 3, and then maybe explodes. And then he's gonna follow up into what the fuck? There's a transforming Smeargle. Is that a thing? That's fucking wild. Now it's a Tyranitar behind the Sub. So the full move is Sub, Spore, Spikes, Transform with a Select Berry. So it's a +1 speed Tyranitar. But Spikes are no longer up. And it weakens the Clay though. It's gonna... I mean, it outspeeds the Suicune here, right? So it could get a flinch or something, and the damage is relevant. Suicune's gonna take like 70% damage or so almost, right? It's more like 60. Okay, switches out, plays it safe, into Swampert, probably Select, Endeavorpert. We do see that it doesn't get left over, so yeah, definitely an Endeavorpert. Sub Select Endeavor and neither Sub or Hydro Pump. And we see that it's a Roar variant, so no Ice Beam, which is fine, but SoulWind seems well prepared to handle this. Swampert here kind of means to me that there is something else in the back that really appreciates the offensive water counter being gone. And Surf might be a range to kill this without the boosted 15. He just endeavors instead of going for the Surf crits or even just high roll. Maybe expecting a switch. I don't fucking know what that was about. Like, what? This is like what you wanna be doing on Swampert versus Blissey, right? You wanna like endeavor it down into like crit range and then go for the possible kill. Because the Surf did 15, so that's plus the Torment boost would be like 22, 23, and Blissey's at 23. So why wouldn't you just go for the Surf here when it could actually just kill? Or if it didn't kill, we could even like crit or something? I don't know. Maybe it was predicting Suicune switch on the Surf? But the Blissey is so low that it doesn't matter. Anyway, Metagross follow-up, gets the Meteor Mesh boost, and Suicune just tanks the Mesh plus EQ and gets a Surf off. Do we see an Agility here by Metagross? We do see an Agility, so big threat. Not Roar on this Suicune as opposed to the last team by SoulWind. And yeah, what can you do about this Metagross? Oh my god, he mashed on the switch. He doesn't care about missing. Blues doesn't believe misses can happen. But yeah, he does get the miss. And then he misses the range on the Salamence, and it's a double down after the Sandstorm. I don't like this Smeargle follow-up. I guess you're faster than everything, but the Tormentor has 3 turns of sleep, so it's guaranteed to wake up. And you might be slower than Jirachi. If you think you're faster than Jirachi and you just want to get 1 layer down and then get the initiative, that's fine. We do see that Claydol is the one that comes and transforms into Claydol. I guess you're trying to explode. Yeah. Cute play, but I'm not sure how much that accomplished. It was cute for sure, though. And we see sub Lychee Aerodactyl. Oh, wait. I have new gen brain going on. It's not 3 turns of Slip Max, obviously. My bad. Rock Slide fishing for the flinch. Come on, that's just desperate. Would a flinch even have done anything there? You really wouldn't. You would have gone for like 3 flinches. You may as well just go for the Earthquake crits. And you have a lot of chances to do so because this Jirachi is not breaking your sub. It doesn't have Psychic or Thunderbolt or Ice Punch. It's probably Fire Grass, I imagine. And yeah, that's 2 Fire Punches that don't break the sub. Maybe it's just Fire Punch Toxic, right? Yeah, no, it's probably just Fire Punch Toxic, which protects. Jirachi should still win this 1v1. I think Blues needs a double crit to win. Yeah. Earthquake, PP is a concern, and random hidden power goes for who knows what reason. And SoulWind trying to get the Claydol in on gets crits, definitely matter, but the fact that it heals off the Suicune here is probably a good thing. And now he can actually just wish the Suicune back to full if he wants. He prefers to just Calm Mind and probably rest in the face of a non-boosted Aerodactyl, which just doesn't do enough damage. Suicune rests up, and this Gengar is not killing it unless it explodes or crits. And the last on Blue's team, I would imagine is like a Tyranitar, or maybe an offensive Water. I've used a lot of a very similar build to this, but I was using like Golduck, so, you know. Dragon Dance Tyranitar, can you fucking do it? Gets the Lumberry, it's not toxic, dances it up. Suicune is... oh, wow. Oh my god, Jirachi lived? That's so bulky. Is that enough though? Because the Suicune is sleeping. I guess you have Protect. Dragon Dances again. So Earthquake kills Tyranitar. Probably, maybe. Probably not, actually. They are fat. It does kill it. Never mind. Okay. So you go back to Jirachi. You get another Protect in. Then it's gonna be 24 and then 30 as you switch to Suicune. Okay, now Toxic does it by itself. And... wait, was that Protect good? Because I guess you would have died to the Aerodactyl. Because instead of the, let's say instead of double Protect here, I mean he got a double Protect. But let's say you didn't get this double Protect, you die to Tyranitar, Suicune takes 1,000,000, and then Aerodactyl could feasibly win. You could instead have gone Suicune on this Earthquake, let it be 2-hit killed, and then Jirachi Protect to get more leftovers, but then it still would be in Aerodactyl range. I guess SoulWind needed that double Protect to not lose. Good thing he got it, because that means we probably will get a game 3, right? Now he just sacks the Jirachi, and from here Suicune should be able to 1v1 Aerodactyl. Should being the keyword there, because crazier things have happened in the world of Pokemon. Earthquake? I guess it's similar enough damage to Rock Slide that you don't want to miss. Okay, Suicune is waking up here, so now you want to be going for the Rock Slides. Or for substitutes. Is that better? That's better, because you just die, yeah. Let's see, now you do get your Lychee. Or maybe you don't yet? No, you do, right? It's end of turn. Yeah. Alright, needs like what? 2 flinches or 1 flinch and a crit? Didn't get it. We go to game 3. Let's go. I like this. I like the style of team a lot. This Smeargle. The transform was so cool. I'm not sure if that's a thing nowadays or not, but I liked it. I'm not sure if it's good either. It didn't seem good. But I mean, I guess it has merits for sure. But yeah, 1-1. We're going into game 3. SoulWind in the bottom, blows at the top. Skarmory, Slacking. Don't use Slacking. That one fucking sucks. Oh my god, the Focus Punch with a Choice Band. It doesn't do anything because now you give Skarmory free leftovers, free Roar. And Slacking is back. The Skarmory may as well be at full health after he protects here. Yep. Wow, what a Pokemon Slacking is. Not even biased at all here, guys. Toxic Spikes, okay. Protect, get Skarmory back to half health. And Misdreavus, okay. I'm not sure why we're seeing Misdreavus into Slacking in ADVOU biggest tournament, but I like Misdreavus. I think, especially considering the kind of team Blues use like Game 1, you know, and the fact that he was HO1 Game 2, probably not gonna do something similar again. Yeah, Misdreavus seems like a fine pick here. And Torment Skarmory, it's whatever. It's similar enough to Taunt, but probably worse. Does some things here and there. And SoulWind just seems to be using like a very simple squad here. Safe to assume there's a Blissey in the back and then some sort of either bulky water or secondary rock resist kind of deal, like a Jirachi, could be a Suicune, could be a Milo. SoulWind did bring Suicune on both the first games. You could see that again here. Calm Mind Blissey, not gonna do much to Misdreavus. Does it have Pain Split or Rest? Probably Rest, right? Maybe just like Mean Look, Perish Song, Rest. Slacking is Mean Look, it Focus Punches, I guess that takes some balls and it does not do anything. Jirachi gets to Wish, and he gets to heal up all the damage. Blues probably gets the free spin here, but I mean, there's a Misdreavus, right? How much damage do you think Misdreavus take? Oh, that's decent, but it's not enough to pressure it. It's the thing, right? Like, just imagine that Choice Band Slacking was actually a Choice Band Tyranitar, then this Misdreavus would be in so much more pressure. You know, just use good mons, guys. Just use good mons. Because Blue Squad looks to be... I mean, when I say Slacking, I expect something much more offensive, but this appears to be just like some sort of... very bulky, almost stally 5-man core plus one big hitter. And the big hitter of choice is Slacking, right? And that big hitter being a Tyranitar would just make everything so much better. Just because the Sandstream is what it is in the tier. But wow, wishing back the Slacking. Does he get to do something now? He gets Thunderbolted and dies. Yeah. And Starmie is probably never getting rid of the spikes here. The Misdreavus at full HP with 1 turn of sleep. Zapdos roaring out the Blissey, 3 layers of spikes down, and Misdreavus just sitting in on Jirachi because this is Toxic Fire Punch, right? It's like a non-step Fire Punch, it's gonna do 0. And we see a Flygon. If this is Toxic Protect Flygon and this guy has a Slacking instead of Tyranitar, I was gonna say I was gonna end the video, but I can't do that because it's CALLOUS channel and I have a lot of respect for CALLOUS. But yeah, just replace this Slacking with the Tyranitar and the team is like 12 times better. Misdreavus just chipping out the Skarmory here and nothing on the team seems to be able to touch it. And we do see a Flygon of his own. We had already seen it, just didn't do anything. And SoulWind just kind of a cool team. I imagine the last is probably Blissey, right? It could be a water type. It would have to be like either Milo or Suicune, but I think Blissey just matches better with the rest. And it kind of does make you a little Mans weak. And it means that you have to rely on, you know, Flygon, Jirachi for your rock types, for your Tyranitars and Aerodactyls and stuff, and you have to rely on Zapdos and Skarmory for Metagross. But I'm just rambling, and Misdreavus is sweeping. We see that every day, right? Love Mismagius here, honestly. It was actually a really good pick by SoulWind, considering what his opponent used round 1 and how it's kind of similar to what he's using here on round 3. I don't think Blues can do anything about this Mismagius. It could literally get all 4 kills if you wanted to, which is, you just love to see it. The pick just, you know, when you make like a pick like that and it works, it's hard not to be happy. It's hard not to be happy for the guy. And yeah, I mean, I'm sorry if I was too harsh on Blues, you know, I'm just being an asshole. I was gonna say I'm just being honest with my thoughts, but that just translates to being an asshole. So I may as well just own up to it. But yeah, I think I can safely say this is a deserved win by SoulWind, despite the fact that his game 2 was basically won off of a double protect, which is a coin flip. And we just love coin flipping. That's what Pokemon is all about, right? Spoilers, it isn't. I'm just tricking you guys. Oh, can I speed? I don't want to speed through this because it's so fucking cool looking at Mismagius do it. Was I calling it Mismagius? I have a feeling that I was. Maybe I'll just call it Fluttermane from now on. That's like the cool new guy, I think. Dude, it is a Protect Toxic Fire Blast Flygon. Just kill that Slaking and put in a Tyranitar. Oh, this pisses me off. More than it should, even. Can you... SoulWind, can you please go into Mismagius and win with that instead of Zapdos? I think that would make everybody happy. You get at least the final kill with the Mismagius. Probably has to be, right? I'm not sure how else it's gonna kill the Blissey. I guess Flygon. It's gonna Ice Beam here, but it gets Toxic first, and you can Perish Song and let it die. Yeah, go Mismagius. You got it, buddy. You got it. Plus 2 Blissey. I imagine it's gonna do like, what, 40%? 45%? Maybe? Wait, didn't even go for the Perish Song? What's happening? 45%. I was on point, by the way. Wait, is it out of Perish Songs? No. What? He's just like... he's just letting die to Toxic? That's some bad manners there. That is some bad manners. I love it. But yeah, SoulWind stays in the tournament and Blues Energy. Wow, why'd you let your Mismagius die, though? And it was a Blissey last month. But yeah, SoulWind advances. I mean, still in loser's bracket, but you know, stays in the tournament and Blues goes home. Honestly, I had fun today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be back again next week for a new match. See you guys then. Goodbye.